and also the global supply chains will also be affected. Yes, Reed.
Right, Mehndi, continue to stay with us on the telecast as we track more developments following what were possibly the most violent Israeli attacks on Beirut since the beginning of the war. Iran has issued a NOTAM for its western airspace where it is stated that commercial flight paths through these areas will be closed every night for military exercise between 1700 and 0130 UTC. Mehndi, what essentially can you tell us about the commercial airspaces that have been shut? Of course, this essentially looks to me as a move by Iran to sort of also expand their operational range. Earlier this morning, we also discussed about how Israel had sort of expanded its operational range by also attacking in parts outside of Beirut, in the outskirts of Beirut, whereas it usually essentially attacks either Beirut or sort of the southern part of Lebanon. So how essentially do you view this escalation?
Well, yes, rightly said, Reed, because this thing that Iran has issued, this is a very strategic move because the issuance of a NOTAM, as in the notice to the airman closing its western airspace to commercial flights every night for military exercises between 1700 and 0130 UTC, it will reflect significant military preparations amid growing regional tensions. And also, Reed, this measure, as I view this, likely serves multiple purposes, from military readiness to strategic signaling to regional adversaries, particularly Israel and the United States. And this will have a strategic context on the geopolitical tensions between the Iran and Israel also, because the closure of Iran's western airspace is occurring during a period of heightened tensions between Iran and Israel, and Israel has repeatedly threatened military strikes on Iran's nuclear facilities. And there have been ongoing airstrikes targeting Iranian assets in Syria, and a key battleground where Israeli forces aim to counter Iran's military presence, and also Iran in return has vowed to respond aggressively to any Israeli military actions. And it will also affect the US-Iran relations rate, because Iran's military exercises also come amid continued friction with the US, and particularly over the stalemate in negotiations to revise the JCPOA, as in the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, commonly known as the Iran nuclear deal. And Iran is also vary of US military presence in neighboring countries like Iraq, where the American troops are stationed, and the Gulf states which host the US military bases, and specific locations. And this will also have a significance because Iran's western airspace is a strategic region bordering Iraq, which hosts a significant US military presence, and is close to Syria also, where several Iranian military forces and proxies are engaged in the ongoing conflict. And this also have a proximity to critical routes, as in the closure of the western Iranian airspace affects international commercial flight paths, especially routes connecting Europe and Asia, and the region is a key transit corridor for global air traffic, and rerouting flights around this closed airspace could lead to disruptions and also the longer travel times for the commercial airlines. And if we talk about the military activities rates, then the air defense drills will also be hampered, the missile testing will also be done by the Iranian military, and also the drone operations, because Iran has developed a formidable drone program with its unmanned aerial vehicles used extensively in conflicts across the Middle East, including the Yemen, Iraq and Syria. And the timing of the NOTAM, the nighttime exercises, will suggest that Iran is conducting exercises during the nighttime hours, and the nighttime operations are often used for simulating real-world conflict conditions where visibility is reduced, and also the ability to detect and respond to threats becomes more challenging. So this will be an ongoing readiness, and also it will impact the global aviation. The rerouting of flights will happen, the safety concerns will be increased, the border military and diplomatic objectives will also be hampered. So yes, this is a very strategic move from the side of Iran. Yes, we.
Right. Thank you so much, Mehndi, for joining us on the telecast. Viewers, that was my colleague Mehndi Guide telling us about how Iran's NOTAM will possibly affect commercial paths, as well as sort of the airspace where the entire global traffic may in fact be impacted by what Iran has said. Meanwhile, viewers, we're slipping into a very short break. Till then, stay tuned and keep watching NewsX for more such updates.